Welcome to ChallengeForex. Join me now as I go through my watch list for the week commencing the 15th of July 2024 and look at the possible trade setups, see what we actually missed and which ones we actually took. So here is the watch list that we made up last weekend before the commencement of the week. And here's a list of the trade setups that I identified at the time, the trades that I was actually looking at for myself to actually take long or short. But whether or not we actually got to trade all of these, let's have a look and see. Okay, the first on the list is the Aussie CAD. And you can see that we had here a zone drawn up for a support level. We were waiting for the price to come down into this zone and then close above the zone again with a green candle, kind of like this one did over here. This was a couple of weeks ago. But as you can see from this one, we didn't actually come back to the zone, but it looks like it is actually approaching now. So maybe going into next week, we might actually have a setup on that one. We have here the Aussie Swiss, and we were looking on this one going into the zone and taking a short, but from the look of this one, it didn't actually quite make it. We've got, let's see, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. So this was the start of the week here, and we had a small green candle. We were hoping for this one to go into the zone and then close below the zone with a red candle and then take short. So this was another trade that didn't set up. Aussie dollar, we were looking for a long setup on this one. We had a zone drawn in here on our chart, which had previously broken through 2 weeks ago. We were looking for this one to come back into the zone, close above the zone again with a green candle to take long. But this one has now actually gone through the zone, and we're looking at now turning this into a flip zone, and we're looking at for next week a pullback into this zone and then taking this one short. Canadian Swiss, we were looking for this one to go back into the zone here and then take short. However, it started off the week straight down. So it's like it ended last week with a red candle and then continued that way again right from the start of the market this week. So it didn't come back and we didn't get an opportunity to enter this trade. Canadian yen, and with this one, we are looking at the same problem that we had with the Aussie dollar, looking for a pullback into the zone and then close with a positive bullish candle above the zone. But this one, it didn't actually break the high of the previous candle, so we didn't even get an opportunity here to take a long. Looking at the 4-hour chart is where I would have made my entry, and this did actually come into the zone, but didn't really close very positively. And I think it was probably good that we didn't take this trade because we would have missed that one anyway. It was right back against us and would have stopped us out. So that was one that we avoided by going through the zone. The Euro Aussie, we were looking for this one to go into the red zone and close below with a red candle. And this one didn't happen. So, well, that trade didn't happen at all. And we're now looking at flipping this zone, making this green zone, and for next week, this one to come back into the zone and take it long. Euro CAD, we did actually have a failed trade here from 2 weeks ago, but for this week, we were looking at, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the start of the week here on the 15th, and we were looking for this one to come back into the zone and take it long. However, it just took off straight away, didn't come back to our zone at all. So we'll have to reevaluate that one for next week. We might be looking at drawing a new zone up around this level. The Euro New Zealand, we are looking at the same problem that we've had with the other pairs that we've been looking at, where the price has just gone straight through the zone and not returned again to retake for a long position. So we were hoping for this one to come back down to the zone so that we could take it long. That didn't happen at all. So looking at next week, we are probably going to draw a new zone around this area and look for a pullback and take that one from there. Euro US dollar, we were looking for this one to pull back into a previous zone that we had drawn, and it didn't go anywhere near that one at this point, so we are still watching and waiting for this one. Pound Canadian, we started this week already through the zone. We were hoping this might actually come back into the zone so that we can take long, but it didn't happen, so there was actually no trade for this one. So, and Swiss, again, another missed opportunity, or really an opportunity that didn't happen. We were hoping for this one to come into the zone so that we can take it short, but it failed to reach. It just stayed inside the same range that it was in for the last 2 weeks. Pound dollar, same again. We were waiting for this one to come back into the zone to take long, but it hasn't reached that level yet, still trading in the same range as last week. New Zealand Swiss started off the week heading straight down and didn't come back at all to our zone. We were hoping for a retracement back to this area here so that we could actually take it short, but started off the week, see this one is Monday candle, so started off going straight down and never came back for the entire week. And the last one on our list was gold, and with this one we were looking at this zone here to take short. However, it did actually break straight through this zone and then came back through again. So we went up through the zone and then back, and really an opportunity for a trade. We would have liked to see it close inside the zone, not above the zone here. So this one was sort of like a little bit, I guess, if we were going to take the signal as my rules are set up, looking at the 4-hour chart is my entry. There wasn't really a place where it actually had a pullback and then turned around, except for here. And if we waited for it to close below this structure, entry would have been here, but not really keen on entering while it's still in the zone, and that is a big stop loss as well. So not really a very good opportunity. The ideal setup for me would have been if it closed inside the zone here somewhere and then closed below, and then we would have taken the short from there. So that one missed. The only winning trade we actually had this week was on the US Swiss, the trade from last week, which continued into this week and actually closed. We could have got a lot more pips from this one, but I think I had this set for a 1-to-1 and it hit the take profit target at that point. We can see here, so hit the take profit. Thanks for joining me for this week's review, and watch out for my next video out shortly, where I will go through my forecast for the week commencing the 22nd of July and looking at changing the zones that we'd hit previously. Some of these were flipped, so we will be trading in the opposite direction. But check out my forecast for commencing the 22nd of July 2024. And if you did happen to take any of these trades that I missed this week, let me know in the comments below if you took it long or short, which pair it was, and if you actually made a profit.